Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Modern English Podcast. I'm Ava, and I'm very happy you're spending some time with us today.
And I'm Lucas. Before we start, I would like to say that one small mistake should not destroy a man's good name forever.
Lucas, nobody said anything about your good name. You sound guilty already, and we have been recording for about 10 seconds.
That is because today's story is not my proudest moment. I went to my friend's wedding, but somehow I celebrated with the wrong couple.
Oh no, Lucas. Please tell me you noticed before you sat down, ate food, and started talking to strangers.
I would love to tell you that, Ava. Unfortunately, I did all three, and one of those strangers even pulled me into a group photo.
You joined the wedding photos too? Okay, everyone, I already know this story is going to hurt me.
It hurt me more, believe me. And the worst part is that I had several chances to notice the mistake before the big reveal.
Now I need the full story. Start from the beginning and please explain how a normal adult enters the wrong wedding with confidence.
My old friend Ethan was getting married to Emma. He sent me the invitation a few weeks earlier, and I was really happy for him.
So far, everything sounds normal. You had the names, the date, and the invitation, which makes your mistake even more impressive.
Thank you for your support, Ava. The reception was at a place called Willow Creek House, but I only remembered the words Willow Creek.
Ah, I can already see trouble coming. Please tell me there was another place nearby with almost the same name.
Exactly. There was Willow Creek Hall about 15 minutes away, and my phone showed that place first when I searched quickly.
Lucas, you had one job. You only needed to read one more word before driving to a wedding.
I know that now. At the time, I was late, my phone battery was low, and I was thinking more about traffic than the invitation.
At least you're being fair to yourself. What happened when you reached the wrong place?
The parking area was full of cars, and everyone was wearing nice clothes. I saw flowers, lights, and a sign near the entrance.
And your brain probably said, perfect, this is clearly a wedding. You had no reason to feel worried yet.
Right, and that made everything worse. I assumed I was in the correct place because everything looked exactly like a wedding reception.
That word assumed is useful for learners. It means you believed something was true without checking it carefully first.
And I was doing a lot of assuming that night. Honestly, I could have taught a full class about bad assumptions.
Please don't become a teacher yet. So you walked inside and nobody stopped you?
Nobody stopped me at all. The reception had already started, and guests were standing around, talking, taking photos, and getting drinks.
Did you know Ethan's family well? I'm trying to understand why all those new faces did not scare you.
Not really. Ethan and I knew each other from an old job, so I expected to see many people I did not know.
Then what was the first thing you did? Please say you looked for Ethan before touching the food.
I looked around for about 30 seconds. Then a server walked by with tiny chicken bites, and I made a very poor moral decision.
You ate first. Lucas, you had been inside for less than a minute and already started using someone else's wedding budget.
I did not know it was someone else's budget. At that moment, I believed I was eating food that Ethan had happily paid for.
When did someone first speak to you? I feel like one normal question should have exposed you immediately.
A man around 60 came over and smiled at me. He asked whether I was there for Chloe's side or Marcus's side.
There it is. Those are not Ethan and Emma, Lucas. How did that sentence not save you?
The music was loud, and I only heard part of what he said. I caught the word side, so I smiled and gave a safe answer.
What is a safe answer when you don't understand anything? I already know this is going to be embarrassing.
I said, "Oh, I know the groom from work." Then I smiled like a man who had fully understood the question.
That is the famous smile and nod trick. English learners do that too when someone speaks too fast.
Yes, but it can create trouble. A better phrase is, "Sorry, I didn't catch that," which simply means you did not hear or understand clearly.
That phrase is much safer than pretending. Lucas, your whole story might have ended right there if you had used it.
I know. Instead, the man said, "Oh, you know Marcus from work." And I somehow only heard the word work.
This is painful. Your ears were protecting you from the truth because your stomach wanted more chicken.
That is unfair, Ava. My ears were confused and my stomach was innocent at that stage.
Your stomach is never innocent when free food is nearby. What did this man do next?
He introduced himself as Frank and started chatting with me. He was friendly, relaxed, and clearly thought I belonged there.
Nothing there would expose the mistake. I can see why you stayed, but surely another clue came soon.
Oh, another clue came quickly. Frank mentioned that the groom played baseball in high school, and that sounded strange to me.
Because Ethan never played baseball? Please tell me your brain finally started working.
Ethan once told me he hated baseball, but I thought maybe Frank was talking about someone else, so I ignored it.
Did you see the bride or groom at this point? Their faces would have solved everything in 1 second.
Not yet. The couple was in another room taking photos, and most guests were still outside the main dining area.
So the universe gave you more time to embarrass yourself. Honestly, this story has perfect timing.
Please don't sound so happy about my suffering. I thought you were supposed to be the kind host on this show.
I am kind, Lucas. I'm just also very interested in seeing how much worse this can get.
Well, you are about to be rewarded. A woman near the entrance suddenly called me over because a photographer was gathering people.
Oh no, we have reached the photo. I already feel secondhand embarrassment, and I wasn't even there.
I tried to step away and said I wasn't family. She smiled and said, "That's fine. We want friends in this one too."
And instead of escaping, you walked toward the camera. Lucas, why are you like this?
Because saying no felt awkward. Everyone was moving closer, so I stood at the end of the group and tried to look normal.
Somewhere there is a wedding album with 15 relatives, 6 friends, and 1 confused man from another wedding.
I think about that sometimes. One day a child may point at me and ask, "Mom, who is that guy?"
And the answer will be, nobody knows, sweetheart. He appeared, ate chicken, smiled for 1 photo, and disappeared forever.
That makes me sound mysterious. I prefer that version, actually.
Mysterious is generous. You were lost in a suit, Lucas.
Speaking of the suit, I looked good that night. That probably helped me blend in with the other guests.
I'm sure you looked fine. A good suit can make a confused man look surprisingly confident.
Surprisingly confident is not exactly the compliment I wanted. Still, I'm going to keep the first half of your sentence.
Take what you can get. Did anything strange happen after the photo?
Yes, and this was the second big clue. I heard 2 guests talking about the groom's younger sister.
Ethan is an only child, right? Please tell me you remembered that fact.
I remembered it immediately. For about 5 seconds, I thought something was wrong, but I still did not check.
Okay, but at some point you must have looked at the decorations. Wedding decorations usually have names or initials everywhere.
That is exactly what happened next. I walked toward the dining room and saw a beautiful sign with 2 large letters, C and M.
Chloe and Marcus. This should have been the end because Ethan and Emma do not begin with C and M.
My stomach dropped when I saw those letters. That phrase means I suddenly felt shocked and worried, like something bad had just become possible.
Good phrase, terrible moment. Did you finally take out your phone?
I reached for it, but Frank called my name from behind me. He wanted to introduce me to another guest from the groom's company.
Frank was accidentally working against you. Every time the truth got close, this friendly man pulled you deeper into the wedding.
Exactly. I didn't want to be rude, so I spoke to the other guest for another minute.
You are too polite at the worst possible times. Sometimes a little rudeness can save a man from a family photo.
I will put that advice on a pillow someday. Anyway, the lights became softer and people started moving toward the main room.
I can already picture your face. Please tell me the announcement was clear enough this time.
Very clear. The host said, "Please welcome Chloe and Marcus," and the entire room started cheering.
Oh, Lucas, that is painful. What did you do when two completely different people walked through the doors?
I stopped clapping for half a second. Then I started again because everyone around me was cheering and I panicked.
You kept clapping? You discovered the truth and still continued supporting the marriage.
What was I supposed to do, Ava? Stand there with my arms crossed and look angry at two innocent newlyweds?
Fair point, but inside your head you must have been screaming.
Absolutely. I smiled outside, but inside I was thinking, who are these people and where is Ethan?
That's the exact moment I would have disappeared. I would have walked straight out without looking at anyone.
I wanted to, but Frank was standing beside me. He was still smiling like we had become old friends.
Poor Frank probably thought, Marcus has such a nice coworker. Meanwhile, you were planning an escape.
I finally checked my phone under the table. The invitation said Willow Creek House, and my map clearly said Willow Creek Hall.
At least you finally checked the invitation. How far away was the correct venue?
Luckily, it was only 12 minutes away. I knew I still had a chance to reach Ethan's reception.
That's not too far, but you were already late. How did you leave without making the situation even stranger?
I slowly moved toward the exit while everyone was watching the couple dance. I thought I could disappear quietly and never explain anything.
Let me guess. Frank saw you.
Frank saw me immediately. He walked over and asked, "Leaving already?"
Of course he did. At that point, I think honesty was your only option.
It was. I took a breath and said, "Frank, I think I'm at the wrong wedding."
Oh, I wish I had seen his face. Was he shocked, angry, or just completely confused?
First, he stared at me for 2 seconds. Then he laughed so loudly that another person turned around to look at us.
That's actually the best possible reaction. What did he say after he stopped laughing?
He said, "That explains why nobody knew you." Then he asked whose wedding I was supposed to be attending.
I like Frank. He understood the whole situation faster than you did.
He really did. When I told him about Ethan and Willow Creek House, he laughed again and said people confuse the two places sometimes.
Wait, other people had done this too? That makes me feel a little better for you.
Thank you, Ava. I have been waiting for sympathy for a very long time.
I said a little better. Don't get comfortable.
Fair enough. Then Frank asked me the most dangerous question of the evening.
What did he ask? I'm worried because you called a simple question dangerous.
He looked at the empty plate in my hand and said, "Did you at least enjoy the food?"
No, Frank. He noticed the plate too. What did you say?
I admitted that the food was very good. Frank laughed and offered me another appetizer before I left.
Please tell me you said no. There has to be a point where your shame became stronger than your hunger.
I said no, Ava. My morals finally arrived about 38 minutes late.
Good, because one more snack would have changed this from an accident into a lifestyle.
That sentence is extremely unfair and also annoyingly funny. I said goodbye to Frank and walked toward my car as fast as I could.
Were you laughing at yourself yet, or were you still feeling mortified?
I was mortified. That's a stronger word than embarrassed. It means I felt extremely embarrassed and wanted to disappear.
How far were you when you finally reached Ethan's real reception?
Almost an hour late. People were already sitting down, and Ethan spotted me before I could quietly enter.
Oh, this is another dangerous moment. What did Ethan say?
He smiled and said, "Where have you been?" I looked at him and said, "Honestly, I was at a wedding."
That answer is perfect because it's completely true and completely useless. What did Ethan do?
He stared at me and said, "My wedding?" I replied, "Not at first."
Oh, Lucas, that is so bad. I would have started laughing before you even explained the rest.
Ethan did exactly that. He called two friends over and made me tell the whole story from the beginning.
I can understand why. Did Emma hear the story too?
She did, and she was actually very kind. She said, "At least you made it to the correct wedding eventually."
That's sweet. I would have asked whether you brought a gift for Chloe and Marcus, too.
Oh, Ava, please, I had suffered enough by then.
I'm only helping you remember the details. So, what happened when someone offered you food at the correct reception?
This is the part you're going to enjoy too much. A server walked by with another tray, and I just stared at it for a second.
You had food flashbacks. Your brain probably asked, Lucas, are we legally allowed to eat this one?
Pretty much. I checked the room, saw Ethan, saw Emma, and then took one like a responsible adult.
At least you finally ate at the correct wedding. But why didn't you call Ethan before entering the first venue?
I thought about that later. A 10-second call would have saved me from the whole situation, but I felt too sure of myself.
Yes, you can say, is this the wedding for Ethan and Emma? That one easy sentence would have saved you.
Or I could have said, "Sorry, am I in the right place?" Simple English is often enough in real situations.
Yes, reading is still useful. So after this happened, did you become more careful with invitations?
Very careful. Now I check the venue name, address, date, time, and sometimes even the photos of the building.
That sounds like a man who has been hurt before. Do you also check the bride and groom's names at the door?
Absolutely. If I see the wrong initials, I am gone before anyone offers me chicken.
Before we move to our word tour, I want to ask everyone listening a question. Have you ever gone to the wrong place for an event? Maybe it was the wrong restaurant, wrong classroom, wrong meeting room, or even the wrong wedding. Tell us what happened in the comments.
That is a very selfish reason for asking for comments. But seriously, we love seeing how you use English to tell your own stories.
If you're enjoying this conversation, tap like so we know you want more story-style English episodes. It really helps the podcast reach more learners.
And if you're new here, subscribe to Modern English Podcast. We keep the English clear, natural, and useful for real conversations.
Also, send this episode to one friend who never checks addresses. You might save them from eating at a stranger's wedding.
Perfect. Now let's do a short word tour with only the harder words and phrases from today's story.
The first word is venue. A venue is the place where an event happens, like a wedding, concert, meeting, or party.
For example, we reached the wedding venue at 7. In Lucas's case, the important skill is reaching the correct venue.
Very funny. The next word is assume. To assume means to believe something is true without checking it first.
You can say, "I assumed the meeting was at 10, but I was wrong. Lucas assumed Willow Creek Hall was the correct place."
The next phrase is, I didn't catch that. You use it when you did not hear or understand what someone said.
For example, "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?" It's much better than smiling and pretending you understood.
Yes, I learned that lesson painfully. The next phrase is blend in, which means to look or behave like you belong with a group.
Lucas blended in because he wore a suit and acted confident. Nobody looked at him and thought, "That man is definitely lost."
The next word is mortified. It means extremely embarrassed, usually because something awkward or foolish happened.
You might say, "I called my teacher Mom and felt mortified." Lucas had a much longer reason to feel that way.
Thank you for keeping the pain alive. Our final phrase is double check, which means to check something again to make sure it's correct.
For example, double-check the address before you leave home. That's probably the official lesson of Lucas's entire evening.
I accept that lesson. I also learned that if a stranger named Frank becomes your best friend at a wedding, you should probably ask more questions.
Poor Frank did nothing wrong. He was just being friendly to the mysterious man who appeared near the food.
You are never going to let the food part go, are you? I feel like the story has changed the way you see me.
Maybe a little. Next time someone invites us somewhere, I'm keeping the invitation on my phone.
Invites us sounds interesting. Are we attending events together now?
Nice try, Lucas. I said if, and you somehow turned it into a plan. I'm just listening carefully to your English. You always tell our audience that details matter.
Look at you using the lesson against me. Fine, if we ever go to the same wedding, I'm choosing the venue.
That works for me. I would follow your directions very carefully.
And there's the real plan. You don't not want better directions, you just want a partner for your mistakes.
I prefer trusted travel companion. It sounds warmer and much less criminal.
Keep practicing that phrase. Maybe one day it will work on someone.
I thought it was working reasonably well right now, but I can be patient.
Then let's end before I ruin the moment. Everyone, thank you so much for listening to Modern English Podcast.
Keep practicing your English with real stories and simple conversations. And please, before your next event, read the full address twice.
Tell us in the comments what you would have done the moment you heard Chloe and Marcus. Would you leave quietly or explain everything?
I already know what Ava would do. She would leave first, then text me from the parking lot and laugh for 10 minutes.
And that is definitely our sign to go. Like the episode, subscribe, keep practicing, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone. And remember, if the bride and groom have the wrong names, stop eating and check your invitation.